Blessing and welcome to today's Sunday service short message from the heart of Mighty I Am Presence. Today's topic is courage. I want to really go into this area and how courage is truly expressed in our lives. Before doing so, I'd like to just give a lot of gratitude to those of you who are watching my channel, for those of you who are making comments, and for those of you who are sharing my messages. It really helps the algorithms get these messages to the right people so they can also feel the support, feel the love, and feel the blessings upon their life. And for those of you who are new to my channel is dedicated to embodiment of your God presence, your mighty divine essence. If you've been on your ascension journey, if you remember who you are, if you remember you are that presence, that gracious essence, and you've started the embodiment, my channel really supports you. So let's talk about courage. What is really courage? We say the word and we know the action of it, but what's the feeling? What is the feeling of that? And how does it get actually expressed? What is the expression of it? We see it, for example, when it is expressed, it is an energy that one displays from a place of weakness, and then when it experiences courage, it's demonstrating strength. Can we all agree on that? Okay, but what's behind it? What is really behind courage that allows an individual to go through an experience? What's actually happening in there? If you have some comments, please share it for me. I can share from this perspective. When I have found courage to go through a rough experience, and I call it rough experience because in that moment, it seemed really rough for my human self. It seemed it was impossible. My human self experienced vulnerability, deep vulnerability, insecurity, pain, not possibility, weakness, all kinds of things came with it. And courage, to release courage, an action had to have been taken. But before the action taken place, a step had to have been taken. So when that first step is taken, there is a cracking of within. There is a cracking from a held way to an opening, a possibility, and maybe a solution. You don't know. The outcome is that, or the desire for the outcome is that, but one doesn't really know what happens other than the courage wants to express itself. And when we sit in this space, we recognize actually it is mighty God presence that has the solution, that has the answer, that is already embedded within. So from within, there is this desire for this other part of oneself to be displayed. But in order for it to be displayed, a step must be taken, followed possibly with other steps. Sometimes the courageous steps that we take are really big steps, and sometimes they're the tiniest steps. For example, it may take a courage to not pick up that caffeine drink that you know you've been wanting to stop having. It takes courage to just today not to take it and deal with the consequence of perhaps the withdrawal, of the headache, the body jitters, and all of that one goes through. It takes courage to deal with what comes with it. And that's often what a lot of individuals want to avoid. That's why they don't go through it, because it's not just this step. The step that you take is very necessary. It changes the pattern. then there are all these aftermath energetics that one has to deal with. And sometimes if our plate is really full, we just can't possibly take on one more thing. Because to take that courageous step, that means we have to handle this. Now, if you are feeling really vulnerable or weak, we may not be able to do that. And this is where God's presence comes in. When we are taking every single day that time, that dedication, first thing in the morning, and calling in and aligning with that God presence, that truth that we are accepting that presence in ourselves. So let's say on a day that, for example, let's say today that I woke up and my human self feels tired. However, I know I want to do this video. So it takes courage to do this video, knowing my human self is very tired, it has head pressure and what have you. And because of my morning meditation, I am aware in the awareness that God mighty presence is the truth in me. And it is that truth. This human self is just having a little bit of a difficulty this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and take this step. Taking this step has been, okay, go ahead and still put the makeup and come here and show up. And also accept that I might not be as radiant today, and it's okay. And that's how courage is expressed. And sometimes we have to take really big courageous steps. But to take those really big courageous steps, you have to take all these other smaller steps. And sometimes life presents us with opportunity to just, we have no choice. We've been pushed and we have to jump in. And then we jump in. The key is God's presence is always in us, through us, everywhere in us. So whether we have to take small steps, whether we have to take ginormous steps, that courage is awaiting to be unleashed. And to take the first step or 100 steps, it doesn't matter. The key is it's accessible, it's there, and all we gotta do is allow it. Allow the courage to come forth and for us to deal with whatever it is afterwards or comes with it, because what happens then, there is a return of a power that is given back to us. There is a release of endorphins. There is a release of dopamine. There is a release of serotonin. All of these wonderful oxytocin are released also within, because the central nervous system in the human body relaxes after that courageous step is taken. And there's this knowing that all was always going to be working out, and how wonderful that is. So next time when the opportunity comes, we don't get so tangled with it. We take this step faster and faster until we remember we are naturally born courageous beings because God's presence is within. I hope this message helped you out today. If it did, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you, and feel free to share it with someone else so they too can benefit. And for those of you who want to journey deeper into the embodiment journey, please consider joining my private member ministry association. That's where I go deeper into the teachings in here. And it's more sharing so that those of you who are dedicated in this, you can find the strength in walking this as well. Have a beautiful, blessed day, and see you next week.